Okay, so day 5, and let me grab the results real quick. We're up $100. We're up $70 in EV, and we're looking to work on that today. Gonna get straight into it. Today's gonna be a little bit tricky. More tricky than usual as it's Sunday. I'm running a bit behind time, so I have loaded up 3 tourneys that I don't wanna miss. So I'll be playing them off screen, but yeah, just ignore them. Just a disclaimer, I will be might be a little bit more distracted. It'll be a challenge. Ace 10 suited on table 3, King 10 suited on table 1 just to get used to it, Jack 6 on table 2. Got the alerts turned off for everybody. It's pretty bad timing. Gonna call here with the Ace 10 suited, don't want to get too funky. Okay, sorry about that. No joy with the Ace 10 suited in that multi-way 3-bet pot. King 10 off, easy fold. Queen 3 suited, gonna open it up. Ace 6, easy defend. Bad flop. Check fold, 9-6 won't be opening. Might just be a day of folding. We'll defend the Jack 7 versus a min raise. Ace 10 suited will open it up on table 3. First half we'll defend the Jack 7, continue with the Jack 7, turn 2 pair. Pretty nice, hope he starts betting big. Oh, I forgot to load up our randomizer, I'd like it for this spot. Just gonna defend with the Ace 10 suited this time. And we'll call the 4s. He's gone the smaller side relative to how big population goes. Just gonna overbet now we'll bet around pot with the Jack 7. Think it's a decent size. With the Ace 10 suited on table 3, it's call or raise. I'm gonna call. Would love the randomizer. I'm kind of lost without it. I know it will be fine. Gonna start bluffing the 4s actually. For a large, just under pot size. We were targeting like jacks, queens just to lay it down on the turn. With 2/3 in a river with our flush. And gonna just give up with our 4s. Could have ran it on diamonds. This might be a bit loosey-goosey. We're not supposed to defend it pre all the time. He did just have an ace. It was a good check by him on the flop. He earned himself the maximum. Aces go ahead and 3-bet. Ace 3 suited will go ahead and 3-bet as well. Queen 7 off will fold. And just looking back at that Ace 10 suited hand, check call half pot, check check turn, we 2/3 on the river. We should probably block river, I think, in hindsight. Just go a nice small size on the river. It's hard for us to have bluffs, it's hard to get called. Right. 8-9 suited, open up the cutoff. And Jack 8 off will open it up. Go 1/3 on the Ace Queen 7. Get it through, that's nice. King Queen suited in the small blind on table 3, gonna open it up. Interesting board. Gonna start with a check actually. And we'll open up the King 8 suited into Welsh Gaz. Not that he's a bad player or anything. We're gonna use a big size here with our second nut flush draw. And our range advantage, we're going to check raise the King Queen on table 3, take the aggressive line. We've got a lot of strong hands here. Going to overbet the turn here with King 8, apply maximum pressure, leverage our equity, defend the King 8 suited on table 2. We get 3-bet here on the flop with the King Queen, which is very interesting. I see he's expected to 3-bet Ace Jack pre at full frequency, so it's some sort of Ace Deuce Jack Deuce suited pocket deuces. Gonna peel. And just gonna check the river now. Our hearts are bad blockers. We're gonna check call the King 8 suited on table 1. Just gonna give up against Welsh Gaz. He had the hearts also, that's why he had to get sticky. Gonna fold the King Queen now. I'm gonna bluff the King 8 for half pot. A little under half pot. Gonna call against this guy. Played with him before. He is a spicy player, a bit of a spice ball. I'll say that much. I'm gonna call the turn with the King on table 1. I don't think there's a need to value bet here, although he is a spice ball, but is he really just gonna check call some weird low pair now? Probably not. Probably would have actually now that I see his hand. Just gonna min bet the Ace Queen Queen and check back turn. I'd rather do this than check back the flop. It's easier to balance this way. And just call. I think we go for a small raise. Just kind of free rolling, and I think his bet is a bit too small. He's trying to get value at like a we can't. Maybe it's just an ace though. But I guess what else could it be? Maybe some King 9 type hand. Maybe the raise is unnecessary. I just felt like we never lose when he bets that small. Gonna 1/4 the King 9-5 monotone. Pretty bad board for us. Show down the trees at this point on table 1 and versus Welsh Gaz. We're gonna fold the 5s with the player behind. Now we'll start checking the jacks for obvious reasons. Our hand really can't get much value. It's not gonna get 3 streets of value, that's for sure. Do we want to bluff our jacks now at this point? I don't think so. Let the trees go, of course. He's bet pretty big. Just gonna check, maybe win against 10s, 10-9 suited, something like that. He's definitely gonna bluff with a hand like, oh, I don't think he's gonna call his Queen 10 of clubs on a flop. Queen Jack, he can't have Queen Jack of clubs. He just doesn't really have offsuit like straight draws. So he just doesn't have many straight draws at all in my eye. So we'll fold the jacks. Expect to only be winning when he just checks back and shows down his whatever. Ace 8 off is like that. It's the cutoff point in the cutoff. King 3 suited is another marginal one, like on the line. I think King 4 suited might be more on the line. We do have a weaker player in the big blind though, no offense, Optic Adams. Maybe I've a misread on you, who knows. Okay, Ace Queen goes in the muck. Open up the fives. Looks like another spot for an overbet. Probably thinking I play all my flush draws like this. I do when the board is like quite good for us. Gonna big bet the fives too. He's got some sixes through even nines that will start to fold. Do we want to run it now? I don't think so. Having a heart and a diamond blocking some of his backdoor floats. Unblocking the clubs now. Just, yeah. Now on this river, it's quite hard for us to have bluffs. So I might go ahead and just slight overbet here. Give him credit if... Wow! Well, there you go. He knew I was bluffing, but unfortunately I was bluffing with a better hand. He had fours, ladies and gents. Maybe Sunday is going to be my lucky day. Gonna call the king queen suited against the 3-bet here. He is marked as a fish, to be honest. From Romania. We'll fold this, I guess. We're learning. We can't always just peel these. He can have ace-x of clubs. We'll check the ace-king back this time and the jack. Oh, sorry, I was about to talk about a hand on a tournament. Thought to check back the ace-king. Apparently not. Apparently not. Now we gonna call with the ace-king on table 1. King 9 off, we're gonna fold. And now we can value bet the ace-king. Gonna go 2/3. I don't want him to hero fold the queen, which is easily done on this texture. Nine eight suited, we'd normally 3-bet versus a 100 big blind stack, but versus this little shorty, we'll just defend. Fold the king 9 off. I'm not going to start bluffing the 9-8. It would be a bit optimistic. Tough story to sell, you know. A7 suited on table 2, we could get in the mix. Same with 5s on table 3. Yeah, defending both. Gonna check the ace again. Small check raise is kind of cheeky. Like, it's very hard for this hand to generate extra value. For us to generate extra value. The one way is a tiny check raise here. So we'll go for it, I guess. 5s will check call. I did consider check raising, but it just might be a bit too strong. Get it through with the a7. Not sure about that play. My point is going to check the 5s, potentially bluff catch. Okay. 7-6 suited, we're gonna mix a 3-bet. And here we go, we'll make it 25 bucks. Round it off. Yeah, the A7 suited, very thin check raise. What I mean by it's so hard for any like extra value to be generated, what happens so often, nice flop by the way, is we check call the ace on the turn versus his small size, and river he just gets to check back all his worst hands, and like we didn't get any extra value there, we never do. That's why we check raise the turn. We see bet for 1/4 to be balanced and get the dream min raise. Okay, okay. Things are looking up. I don't know what this guy's doing. Hopefully he's just got a jack and he's just loving life. Give us your $102, please. We'd really appreciate it. Let's go. Let's go. Just a king 10 off. The c-bet just made him spaz out to oblivion. You just love to see it. You just love to see it. Let's get that guy noted. Kings versus a 3x. Just gonna go our standard size from the small blind. Check the sixes. So I really hate timing out hands when I don't know what it was. Okay, kick it off with 1/3, I guess. Right, that's what we do here. He's got a little bit of a set advantage. We've got an overpair advantage. He can have as strong as queens as well as his sets. But the board isn't a huge, it's not like he's got a huge range advantage here or anything. So we'll bet 1/3. Maybe check something like 8-5, 8-6-5. Open up the aces on the button. For him to have bluffs here, he could have some, I guess. Maybe some 9-8. Oh, we should have bluffed the sixes, maybe. Maybe some 9-8 stuff. Maybe some queen jack, something wrapped around a 10, queen jack of diamonds. A lot, it's just going to be 7s and 5s, and we're just like, wah, wah, wah. Let's get it into cash so we see that cash come or go. This will be a really good session. This will be turning into a really good session if we can get a stack here. Maybe he's got 9-8 and he wants to just rip his equity, or he's thinking, do I take a free one? Okay, the ace is pretty bad, but when I was thinking of the hands he'd raise on flop, I was considering it to be less like ace jack suited and more queen jack suited and 9-8 suited, stuff with less showdown. We'll check again and just call, I guess. We'll have to think about it again. A jam, I'd like to see a jam, I guess. I guess his size isn't too relevant. Okay, so he does jam, and small blind versus hijack. I think he will be defending a bit of 9-8 suited. No 8-6 suited, queen jack suited, king jack suited. These are the type of hands I think you might want to raise on the flop, in case he like. So we're just going to check call our kings. Can't just check call ace x here, I believe. Wow, he turns a 10 into a bluff. You love to see it. You love to see it, boys. That was a very interesting little hand. Sorry for tanking Sexy Bieber on table 1. We will be continuing as well, just to make matters worse for you. But I guess you're going to win the 20 bucks in the pot now, because that turn is awful for us and you're going to barrel it quite a lot. Yeah. Can't really continue now. Our hand is just, we unblock both flush draws, but how many bad rivers and how much equity do his bluffs even have? Like, a lot is the answer. How long we've been going? 18 minutes. We'll bang out another 10-minute session. Try and get some more stacks, get some momentum going for this, for our yearly results. Queens, super deep. Just gonna call here most of the time. I think kings will mix between calling and raising. But yeah, queens will just call more often. Pretty horrible board. I think we just fold now, right? It's not entirely true. If he's c-betting a hand like 10s or jacks for 1/3 is a bit of a disaster. I'm not going to go anywhere just yet. It's really weird though. I actually have no clue. I've actually no clue what he's doing. It's just hard. It's hard to like give him credit for ace king and aces and kings now, is because he's like just He's betting away. He is betting on the small side, so. But yeah, once we call flop and we tell him that we have something, and then he just like bets small again, I'm starting to give him a bit more credit. Oh, thankfully we got the bet away before we timed out. Do want to barrel this one off. Gonna 2x pot the river. 50 Dara. Open up the ace 10 before we run out of time, and 2x pot the jack 9. Nice relevant 9 of hearts. Paired board is kind of good for us also. Getting it true. And also, probably the biggest factor or reason why I ran the bluff, which I think is a solid little tip for anyone like at any level. When he doesn't check raise the flop or turn, and especially when I go small on the turn and he doesn't check raise, it's usually not a huge hand. Now, as players get better and more sophisticated, they start to protect that check call range and actually have strong hands when they check call small sizes on the turn out of position. But not enough players are really protecting that out of position turn check call, specifically versus small sizes. So I guess that's where a lot of red line comes from. Just gonna call 40 ace queen suited. It's like the perfect combo nearly, I think. Other tables are suffering here. We check back the ace jack, turn the ace. It was a hand that I was gonna pure c bet, FYI. I'll go half pot now. We're repping more condensed range at this point. Don't think betting 1/3 is. We could bet even bigger here. I probably would exploitively with like just my better ace x, because he can still have ace queen, right? Somebody's coming to 5 town on table 3, and doesn't look like it. Big blind thought about it. Where's he from? He's Dutch, that's why he thought about the cold 5 bet. Okay, pretty bad board for us, but we're just going to bet 1/4 with our range. Just like the 7-6 on Jack 7-7. This texture is a little bit different though, so maybe I could have done some other stuff like jammed, checked. Just bet bigger. He's going to jam a decent amount here, and we'll just have to give it to him. It means the board just came down a little better for him, and we just have to deal with it. Now at this point, when he doesn't jam, it's frickin' weird. I think I'm going to check. Decide, you know. Decide what's going on. I think he'll check here a decent amount. Maybe some really small sizes if he wants to rep an 8 or 9s, 10s that want to get value, tin value / protection. We could end up check jamming the turn. 2 very nice button 3-bet spots. King 10 suited bluff on table 1. Aces value town on table 2, and we are going to see a flat by me. Oof. It is yeah, we're just gonna flat here. The ace queen suited, I'm gonna just go for the gangster check jam, I think. God, see, like, and we're gonna defend the king 10 suited. We've got a lot going on here. It's a good spot for button to flat aces here on table 3, just like we flatted aces here on table 2. I think we've tanked a little bit too long, so it just looks like a tank with what we've got. But I did want to check jam this ace queen. We call the aces. Damn, very, very boring chop. Yeah, he's just got it always. King 10 suited is another one of these spots. We timed out. We should have called versus that tiny size. We started to fold more of these lately because I've been getting some advice that I shouldn't be peeling all of those backdoor flush draws in 3-bet pots. My range just gets too weak, and that's true. But I think versus that small size with the backdoor straight and flush draw position, I think that was a mistake. But yeah, as I said, I've got a couple of tourneys on the side here for today as it's Sunday. 5s are just going to fold, get out of the way. The ace-9 we can check raise for value. We can check call, we can bet big, we can bet small. Sounds like a poem on what to do on the turn. I'm just going to start betting 2/3, probably bet 2/3 on a lot of rivers. King Jack, just go for the min. We can get tricky, we can bet small. I'd rather get tricky here on the turn on table 1. So when people like to bluff, they like to bet pot sometimes, or even more. And when you're collecting bets of that size from bluffs, that's going to be pretty good for your hourly, right? Just going to min raise here and just beg that we're not chopping. If you've got a king, dude, don't re-raise me, just call. He had 9-8, so he had the bottom end of a straight. Yeah, we could have made it a little more than a min raise, but I'm expecting him to just like be playing a lot of 2 pairs kind of badly, and just betting. And they're fine to bet for value on the river, but you'd obviously want to bet tiny if you are. So I thought he might be having some 2 pairs in that half pot size. 9-8 is pretty unlikely in all fairness. And still, if we raise much bigger, he can hero fold. We've got so many king X in our range. Fold the 6s. I think bluff the 6s at this point. And 3-bet the 10-9 suited versus weaker player. 6s might have been a bit unnecessary there. I can see him looking us up with like 8x, 7x with a spade. Who knows? Just go for 1/3 on the ace jack 4, hopefully get it through. Our 10 and 9 is kind of bad here. First of all, we've diamonds, which isn't good. We want him to have diamonds because it's unconnected with the board. Second of all, we block 10s and 9s, his kind of natural folds on the flop. So I'm not liking this combo too much. We block ace 10 suited. We block a couple of suited jacks, probably another bad factor. So yeah, just not liking this combo at all. Although this time he doesn't have the ace X, I'm just gonna let him have it. He does have the ace X. I thought when he snap checked the river it was just jack X a lot, and I thought that would look me up also, but he was gonna snap call us. I'm happy with that 10-9 shutdown. Shutting down for me isn't always easy. Trees might get in the mix. It's a smaller 3-bet size, and a weaker player is cold called a small blind. Flopping a set, absolutely effing beautiful. Multi-way 3-bet pots. Been recording 28 minutes as well, so going to we've a boat now, by the way. So gonna sit out everywhere. Call the trees. It would be obviously terrible if a 5 rolls off. Now we lose to aces, of course. I don't think Welsh Gaz is going to value bet an ace X. Fuck, we folded king 7. It was marginal anyway. I think we want to go 1/3. Maybe one of them spazzes out with a jam. Maybe it's our best chance of getting value from like an ace queen, ace jack. Georgie jams it. I don't think he's got aces. Could have quad 5s. No action. At least our small size kind of feels like it was right when they both find folds. So, moment of truth. Here is our results unrefreshed before our session, and we're about to see what went down. Okay, $255 profit. You like to see it, you like to see it. Yeah, it's been 5 days grinding, looking around like a weekly 9-to-5 job wage. Hopefully we can get 2 solid sessions in and get a nice profit for the week. And I can show that these games it is possible to make a living from these games, depending on where you're living, of course. And as I said before, I'm out here in Cambodia. Don't need much money to make a living. So yeah, cheers for watching everyone, and if you're liking this content, you want daily content, subscribe. I'm uploading daily. Cheers.